On the board, we have 4 raised to the power of n plus 2 raised to the power of 2n minus 3 equal to 9 over 8. We have to find the value of n. Now, how do we get the value of n? When you have n as a power here and n as a power here. So, in order to look for the value of n, first of all, we need to bring down the power. Make n a whole number first. Make it a whole alphabet before we can be able to get the value of n. Now, before we do that, we will write this question. You have your 4 raised to the power of n plus 2 raised to the power of 2n minus 3 equal to 9 over 8. Now, to do this, first we look for the square of 4. What is the square of 4? The square of 4 is 2 raised to the power of 2. 2 raised to the power of 2 will give us what? 4. Now, the n will be included. 2 raised to the power of 2 is 4. 4 raised to the power of n. The same thing you're seeing here. Then you bring out your plus 2 raised to the power of 2n. Now, if you watch, according to the law of indices, subtraction sign becomes division sign. Subtraction sign changes to division sign. So this minus you're seeing here becomes a divide. Then you have 2 raised to the power of 3. This thing you're seeing here is the same thing as this. Then you have equal to 9 over 8. Now, after this step, what is the next step? Remember, you have 2 raised to the power of 2, and you have an n there. Now, let's work on the power. Now, working on the power, you say 2 raised to the power of 2, and this is 2 times n. This bracket here means sign, multiplication sign. So 2 times n will give you 2n. You've seen it now? Now you have your plus 2 raised to the power of 2n over 2 raised to the power of 3 equal to 9 over 8. Since we've gotten to this part, what should you do? We need, if you watch all a fraction, 9 over 8 fraction, 2 over this 2 fraction, we need to balance this to become fraction as well. In order to balance it, to put over 1. Now, since we've balanced it now, what should we do? We need to look for the LCM. The LCM of 1, 2, and 8 is 8. That's the LCM. 1, 2 raised to the power of 3, and this gives us what? 8. But before we can be able to look for the LCM of this, you have 2 raised to the power of 3 there. But now as well, change it to become a whole number. And to do this, we have 2 raised to the power of 2n over 1 plus 2 raised to the power of 2n over, we have 2 raised to the power of 3 there, which gives us 8 equal to 9 over 8. Now we've turned this 2 raised to the power of 3 to become 8. So what we have here as the denominators now is 1, 8, 8. Now we have to look for the LCM. The LCM of the denominator will give you 8. Now, having gotten 8 as the LCM, we need to remove this to eliminate it. To do that, we use the LCM to multiply through. The LCM we've gotten, which is 8, we use it to multiply through. Now, it becomes 8 bracket 2 raised to the power 2n over 1, close the bracket, plus 2 raised to the power of 2n over 8. Close the bracket, then equal to, you have your 9 over 8 times 8. Remember, I closed the bracket before, but I opened because both of them are together. We don't separate them. So the bracket was now opened and closed here because the two are together. So we multiply all through using the LCM of the numerator, which is what I did here. Now, if you watch, 8 times this will give us 16. 16 raised to the power of 2n. Now, 16 divided by 1 is 16. That's the reason why they don't put my over 1 here, because 16 divided by that 1 will also give us 16. Now, you have your plus. Now, this 8 here, we cancel this 8. When 8 cancels 8, what is remaining? You have your 2 raised to the power 2n. Now, equal to this 8 cancel this 8. What is remaining here? You have your 9. So here we have 16 raised to the power of 2n plus 2 raised to the power of 2n equal to 9. Now we need to equate this base. The base needs to be equated. You have 2 raised to the power of 2n. You have 16 raised to the power of 2n. Now, what do you think should be written here to make the base to be equated? I believe you started thinking what should be here. Now, the right answer should be 8, open the bracket, 2 raised to the power of 2n. Now, since 2 is here, it's expected that 2 should also be here, so that the base will be the same thing. That's what I did here. So 8 times 2, the same thing as 16, raised to the power of 2n. Then you bring this down, plus 2 raised to the power of 2n equal to 9. So if you're watching that, the base are equated, are the same. 2 raised to the power of 2n plus 2 raised to the power of 2n. So in order to do this base that are equated, we substitute it, calling it an alphabet for easy solving. What should we call it? We say, let 2 raised to the power of 2n be equal to x. Let's call it x. Anyway, you see 2 raised to the power of 2n, call it x. So since we've called it x, now this automatically becomes x. This as well becomes x. So it will be 8 brackets. So instead of writing 2 raised to the power of 2n, you call it x, which is your x plus x. This becomes x equal to 9. So having done that, what should be the next thing? We multiply x. 8 times x will give us 8x plus x equal to 9. Now we add 8x plus x will give us 9x equal to 9. So what should we do? We divide both sides by the coefficient. Coefficient is 9. So 9 cancelled 9 is x. This into this is 1. So our x is 1. Our x here is 1. You see it down? Now replacing it here. Since our x is 1. Now look at this. 2 raised to the power of 2n equal to x. We'll bring this. This same thing we have here. We'll bring it here. You have your, remember, we said since this is equal to this. So anywhere you have your x now, your x is 1. So you have your 1 is equal to, remember our x was this before, 2 raised to the power of 2n. So it was interchanged. You say, therefore, let this come this way. Or if you don't want to interchange it, you can also leave it like that, the way you want, by saying x is equal to 1, the way it is. Already we have our x, which is 2 raised to the power of 2n. So you say 2 raised to the power of 2n equal to 1. The same thing. You can write it this way if you want. You change it, let the 1 come this way and let the x come this way. Or the same way it is, you have your x, which is equal to this. So you bring it down, so 2 raised to the power of 2n equal to 1. So let's use this to complete it. Leaving this. Let's use this to complete it. Now, if you watch, the bases are different. We need to equate the base. Since here is 2, we need to make here 2. How do you make it 2? Now, we use the law of indices, which says whenever a number is raised to the power of 0, gives you 1. Now, since here is equal to 2 raised to the power of 2, and here will be 2 raised to the power of 0. Why? Because the law of indices says when a number is raised to the power of 0, it gives you 1. So 2 raised to the power of 0 will give you this 1. It's the same thing as this 1. So the bases now are equal. They are equal. Now, since the bases are equal, the law of indices says when bases are equal, work on the power. Now, since the bases are equal, this base will cancel this base. Now, what the power we have left is 2n equal to 0. Remember, we are looking for the value of n. Now, what should we do? We divide both sides by 2, which is the coefficient. When 2 cancel out 2, it becomes n equal to 0 divided by 2. So 0 divided by 2 will give us 0. So our n is 0. Thank you.